Travis County Starflight provides air ambulance rescue, as well as firefighting and other services. For such dangerous missions, the Starflight team must continually train for any and all situations.
To be the best at what you do, you have to train. That's all there is to it, and to be safe. What our guys have to go out and do in bad weather, during flood rescues, fighting fires, and those kinds of things, if they aren't proficient at it and they're not regularly practicing doing that, it would be not safe, and it would be dangerous not only for our people but for the public.
As well as the Starflight team trains internally, sometimes it's good to get an outside perspective. Recently, Starflight hired a consultant for more in-depth training.
I'm going to challenge you to try some things new that could be uncomfortable.
They train across the world, so they were able to provide us with some additional information that we can provide to our crews.
Much of what Air Rescue Systems, or ARS, was able to provide to Starflight was advanced knowledge of the math and physics involved in making flights more stable and secure for the entire crew, as well as for the patients.
So as soon as we stop hard, the aircraft wants to stop, the hoist wants to stop, the cable wants to stop. What does the load want to do? Keep on going.
Revisiting familiar physics topics like the pendulum theory and Newton's laws of motion helps not only the pilots, but also the hoist operators and rescuers to keep themselves and patients steady during a rescue, to avoid wild swings and rotations that could lead to helicopter damage, injuries, and death.
I had a rescue one time. It was a very unique situation. It was actually an industrial site, a construction area, and there was actually a building and a crane, and so there were a lot of obstacles to avoid. It was at night, and we developed a pretty significant swing of our rescuer on the cable, which makes it extremely challenging to get somebody into a tight situation when we develop a load movement like that. And I really think that this training would have made that hoist evolution so much easier because our profile and the way we approached into the target might have prevented that movement.
Other topics of the advanced training included the rotor flow, or downward air pressure from the helicopter, and how that affects not only the aircraft, but also the people on the ground.
ARS brought a better understanding of the aerodynamics and the rotor flow, so just for our crews to be able to identify what's going on underneath the aircraft, and then kind of, instead of fighting against some of those influences of the rotor washes, they actually work for our crews.
It gave us a better understanding of the methods by which we need to approach physically the aircraft approaching or departing for coming overhead and leaving a scene where there's somebody on the ground to help mitigate the effects we might have on them. So collectively, we've all come back together and have agreed on that, and we think that's going to be a big benefit to our future public missions.
Of course, the ARS training wasn't limited to the classroom only. Field training lasted for a few days, each day lasting several hours. And it was repetitive while always teaching something new to keep challenging the team.
Nice job, brother. Nice job, Aaron.
I probably did more hoists in those days than I've done possibly in my entire career prior to that. The volume of hoists that we got, and with somebody sitting there over your shoulder giving you direct feedback, direct immediate feedback, it was great for learning and improving your practice.
We did over 100 hoists with the ARS guys, and learning their new techniques was something that was a challenge for both our crew chiefs and our rescuers. We had learned things that we had never done before, and that makes everybody a little bit uncomfortable. So when we had to implement these new ideas and new techniques, it was outside of what our normal procedures were, and kind of opened everybody's horizon into our way wasn't the only way to do it.
Despite the challenges of such a rigorous and detailed training program, everyone in the Starflight team easily discovered its benefits.
And now I feel like, one of the most uncomfortable things that happens to you, at least we have some control over it.
The feedback we've received from all of our crew members has been extremely positive.
I think going through it together really gives us a better appreciation of what the other person has to do and how difficult their job is, and how we can make each other's jobs easier for each other so that we can improve the performance as the team as a whole.
Not everybody just does their own job in this process, but they all are working together to accomplish the overall goal.
The things that Starflight does in our rescue world is something that's different from any other helicopter air ambulance service. So not every call that we go into is the same, and having to work through those challenges is an opportunity to learn and apply the skills that we've learned in our rescue operation training on every rescue.
With more in-depth knowledge of the physics involved in air rescue, as well as improved communication techniques among the crew, Starflight can ensure safer rescues in many different kinds of situations.